There are hundreds of cruise hacks online, YouTube videos, Reddit threads, cruise Facebook groups. Everyone has a tip, a trick, a game changer they swear by. But here's the thing nobody talks about. Most of these hacks were never actually tested. They just get shared and reshared. Eventually, they become cruise gospel. So I decided to do something different. I tested 10 of the most popular cruise hacks you'll find online today, the ones that show up repeatedly. The ones everyone recommends. What actually works? What's overhyped? And what could genuinely get you in trouble on your next cruise? I'll tell you right now, only 4 of them actually held up. Some of the failed hacks are ones you've probably heard many times. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which hacks to use, which ones to skip, and why some do the opposite of what they promise. Let's get into it. Hack number 1, magnetic hooks. The claim is simple. Bring magnetic hooks onto the ship, stick them onto your cabin walls, and instantly create extra hanging space for hats, bags, jackets, and lanyards. And honestly, this one works. Most modern cruise cabin walls are metal. Small magnetic hooks stick perfectly fine. For about $5, you can create a simple organization system that cruise cabins don't provide naturally. But here's the nuance people miss. Not every surface inside the cabin is magnetic. Bathroom doors, wood-paneled walls, and certain trim sections won't hold hooks. So the smart move is simple. Bring 3 or 4 hooks, not 20. Test each surface first before hanging heavier items, and you'll be completely fine. Result, this one works. Pack a few hooks. Hack number 2, sneaking alcohol on board. This is one of the most popular cruise hacks on the entire internet. The most common version goes like this. People pour vodka or rum into a mouthwash bottle, sometimes adding food coloring to fake the appearance. Then they try slipping it through security inside their carry-on bag, and this one fails. Here's the reality. Cruise line security is much better now at spotting this exact trick. Bags go through X-ray screening. Liquid density can be checked, and cruise security staff have already seen every version of this hack. If you're caught, your alcohol usually gets confiscated. Depending on the cruise line, you could also receive a warning or extra attention on your cabin for the rest of the sailing. Here's what smart cruisers do instead. Most cruise lines allow adults to bring limited sealed wine bottles on board, usually 1 or 2 bottles per person, and if you drink heavily, look for discounted drink packages before sailing. Cruise lines often discount them early, sometimes 20 or 30% off. You'll often spend less overall, without risking confiscation at embarkation. Result: skip it. The risk isn't worth it. Quick note: alcohol policies vary by cruise line and can change any time. Always verify the current policy before your cruise begins. Hack number 3, bringing a power strip. This hack exists for a reason. Cruise cabins rarely have enough outlets. 2 people might be charging phones, cameras, laptops, CPAP machines, and several other devices inside one tiny cabin. So the internet solution became simple. Bring a power strip, problem solved. Except here's the part many videos never mention. Most cruise lines ban surge protector power strips completely. They're listed as prohibited items. If you pack one, security may confiscate it during embarkation, or housekeeping may remove it later from your cabin entirely. So your solution ends up sitting in a confiscation pile. What actually works instead? Bring a travel adapter with multiple USB ports, but without surge protection. Some cruise lines also allow basic non-surge outlet adapters, but policies vary, so always double-check your cruise line rules. Result: the power strip hack fails. Travel USB hubs work better. Hack number 4, arriving early on embarkation day. This hack gets recommended constantly, and technically, the core idea is correct, but most people execute it badly and make embarkation more stressful. Here's what usually happens. Someone hears that arriving early means shorter lines and faster boarding, so they arrive at the terminal at 7 in the morning. The terminal isn't even open yet. They wait in the parking lot, then join massive check-in lines anyway. because hundreds of passengers had the exact same idea. The hack itself isn't wrong. The execution is wrong. The real version that works starts before you leave home. Complete your online check-in early, upload your documents, select your arrival time, and download your boarding pass weeks before embarkation day. When you do that properly, the terminal experience becomes much smoother. You walk in prepared, no scrambling at the counter. And here's another overlooked tip. If you board early, skip the buffet entirely. The buffet becomes chaos on embarkation day. Every passenger heads there immediately. Instead, go to the main dining room. It's usually open for lunch with far smaller crowds. Same food quality, much calmer experience. Result, this hack works if your online check-in is completed beforehand. Hack number 5, booking last-minute deals. This cruise hack has existed forever. The theory sounds simple. Cruise lines want to fill empty cabins, so prices crash right before sailing. Wait long enough, and you'll get an amazing deal. Years ago, this worked more often. Today? Not really. Modern cruise ships are sailing near record capacity levels. Ships are filling up quickly, and when last-minute deals appear, the leftover cabins are usually undesirable. Interior cabins near elevators, thin walls, low decks, bad locations overall. And once you factor in expensive last-minute flights, the cabin savings often disappear completely. What smart cruisers do instead is book during wave season. That's usually January through March. Cruise lines often offer their best promotions during that period. Another smart strategy, book early, then monitor prices afterward. Some cruise lines allow repricing before final payment dates. And that's actually a hack that works. We'll get there soon. Result, last-minute booking usually fails today. Book smart, book early. Hack number 6, packing cubes. Packing cubes are everywhere in travel content now. Cruise videos love recommending them. The claim is simple: better organization, more luggage space, and easier packing overall. Here's the honest truth. Packing cubes work, but not exactly how people describe them. They don't magically compress clothing. 10 folded shirts inside a cube still occupy the same space. The cube itself doesn't create extra room. What it does create is organization. And that matters a lot inside small cruise cabins. Drawer space is limited. Suitcases become messy fast. With packing cubes, you can separate tops, bottoms, and swimwear without constantly digging through luggage. They're especially useful on multi-port itineraries where you're repeatedly unpacking and repacking. If you're already highly organized, they may not change your life. But for most travelers, especially first-time cruisers, they genuinely help. Result, this one works. But for organization, not compression. Hack number 7, natural seasickness. Remedies. This is where cruise hacks become genuinely messy online. Search seasickness tips, and you'll see endless recommendations. Green apples, ginger candy, pressure point wristbands, looking at the horizon, fresh air on deck. Some of these appear in almost every cruise tips video. The reality is more complicated. Different remedies have very different effectiveness levels. Over-the-counter medications like meclizine or bonine have decent medical support for mild motion sickness. Prescription patches are often even more effective for people prone to severe seasickness. Ginger has some supporting evidence. Pressure point wristbands have mixed scientific results. Some passengers swear by them. Clinical evidence is less convincing. And green apples, there's basically no strong evidence supporting that hack at all. It sounds natural and harmless, which is why it spreads online. But during rough seas, green apples probably won't save you. What genuinely helps most? Choosing the right cabin location. Midship cabins on lower decks experience the least movement. Staying hydrated also matters. Fresh air on deck helps many passengers significantly. And bringing real medication as backup is simply smart planning, even if you've never been seasick before. Result, most natural remedies are inconsistent. Bring real medication just in case. Hack number 8, free room service. Breakfast. The pitch sounds fantastic. Order complimentary breakfast to your cabin the night before. Wake up to coffee and pastries, and skip the crowded buffet completely. And honestly, this one mostly works. But there's one important catch now. Several cruise lines have changed room service policies recently. Some now charge delivery fees. Others still offer free continental breakfast, but charge extra for hot items. Things like eggs or full breakfast plates. So if you're expecting a completely free hot breakfast, that may no longer happen depending on your cruise line. But the continental option still remains free on many ships. And it's honestly one of cruising's nicest small pleasures. Coffee in your cabin, quiet morning ocean views, especially on busy port days. It's a relaxing way to start early mornings. Result works, but always verify room service policies first. Hack number 9, the casino player's card. This falls into the category of real cruise insider knowledge. Most cruise ship casinos have a player's club program. You sign up for a free card and use it while gambling on board. Your activity gets tracked. In return, you can receive casino perks, things like free play credits, discounts, or future cruise offers. The hack itself is simple. Sign up for the card even if you gamble lightly. It costs nothing to join. And even modest casino activity can generate small rewards. But here's the honest caveat. This is not a shortcut to a free luxury cruise. The biggest rewards go to passengers who gamble consistently over time. Still, there's basically no downside to signing up. And for cruisers who enjoy casinos, long-term rewards can become substantial. Result, this one works, especially for regular casino players. Hack number 10, monitoring price drops. This is the hack that can save serious money. And surprisingly, many cruisers never use it. Here's how it works. After booking your cruise, you continue monitoring the fare price. If prices drop before final payment, you contact the cruise line or your travel agent and request the lower rate. And yes, this genuinely works on many cruise lines. But the details matter. First, it usually only works before final payment. After final payment, most cruise lines won't fully reprice bookings. Some may offer onboard credit instead. Second, if you booked through a travel agent, you must go through that agent directly. Third, price drops can disappear quickly. A discounted fare today might vanish within days. The smart strategy is simple. Set a weekly reminder to monitor your cruise fare, or use fare tracking tools that alert you automatically. Because when price drops happen, acting fast matters, and depending on timing, you could save hundreds of dollars on the exact same cabin you already booked. Result, this hack genuinely works. The savings can be very real. So, out of 10 popular cruise hacks, where did everything land? The hacks that genuinely worked: magnetic hooks, early embarkation done correctly with completed online check-in, packing cubes for organization, casino players' cards for people who gamble on board, and price drop monitoring before final payment. Room service breakfast also deserves an honorable mention, as long as you've verified your cruise line's current policy. Now for the hacks that failed or completely backfired: sneaking alcohol in mouthwash bottles, last-minute booking strategies, banned power strips that get confiscated during check-in, and relying entirely on green apples for seasickness prevention. The bigger lesson here is important. Most cruise hacks aren't outright lies. They're often just outdated advice that no longer matches modern cruising. Policies change, ships operate differently, security becomes smarter. What worked 5 years ago on another cruise line may completely fail on your sailing in 2026. The smartest thing you can do before any cruise: verify everything. Check your cruise line's current policies. Don't assume another passenger's experience matches your upcoming sailing. And focus on hacks with real to practical payoff, not internet tricks that create more problems than savings. If this kind of honest, tested cruise content is useful to you, Part 2 is already in the works. More cruise hacks, more testing, same format. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And if you want another video right now, check out the guide on costly first-time cruise mistakes. It covers expensive errors many passengers never see coming. and most of them are completely avoidable.